Thanks for staying with us. It's still Game On, and it's now time to delve into other matters on the show. We have to start with tennis rather going on, talking about the Billie Jean King Cup rather in Nairobi. And for Kenya, it's Kenya making a clean sweep, going into the next round of matches, having defeated Botswana by winning all three games. Angela Okutoyi, they're leading them through, and they will be taking on Namibia in the next match. Let's talk about the WTT Contender Series taking place in Lagos, Nigeria. And that's all about the very big tournament taking place here in Lagos, where the very best of table tennis players, top 50 out of the top 150 in the world, are participating at this point in time. And it's match day 2 for most Nigerian players. It wasn't really a good day in office. As you can see on your screen, Amadi Ode played out a 5-game thriller against Vincent Picard of France, losing that by 3 games to 2. Joining us to discuss the WTT Contender Series here in Lagos is a table tennis pundit. Hassan Abdulsalam joins me this evening. Hassan, good evening. It's good to have you on the show.
Good evening. It is a pleasure to be back on the show tonight to discuss table tennis.
Thank you very much. Let's delve into it. Match day 1, we had some seeds fall out, especially of the African contingent. But let's start with the home team, talking about the Nigerian players before we delve to other players, from the continent. Day 2 didn't live up to expectation from Nigerian players, especially the women's draws. Virtually everyone ousted. You had Cecilia Akpan, you name it. What do you think is responsible for the dismal outing on match day 2?
Looking at the championship and looking at the way the Nigerian players started, it has not been something we should be sure of. But nevertheless, they've given all their best to get better results out of it. Looking at Amadi, he fights all and all to get something in that particular one. But that is why it is called sport. But should we say the absence of Aruna Kodri and Omar Asa will affect these young players? But no. We can't say that, but due to the fact that most of these players are just coming back after days of competition. We saw what Amadi did in Ghana, where he won West African table tennis competition there in Ghana, and then coming to Lagos to lose this particular one. It has really been something not good. And if you look at other table tennis players in Nigeria, especially, it has not been a good day for them, and this might really affect the top guns, the likes of Mati Taiwo and Olajide Omotayo when the game starts properly.
Yeah, yes. Talking about this qualifying, rounds now, with the way most Nigerian players have fallen out, what does this portend? You just talked about the bigger boys or the bigger names, as they were, Taiwo Mati and what have you. I mean, you mentioned Amadi. There was so much promise for him, considering his outing at the West African Table Tennis Championship, where he played so well to emerge the champion. How does this affect Nigerian players going forward? Because this is a home tournament, and this is a tournament that they should have used as a basis to project themselves to the world. Remember, this tournament holds ranking points for players going into the Paris 2024 Olympic Games.
It is not about being playing on the home soil. It is about calibers of players that are playing. When you look at the qualifying draws, you've seen players from every part of the country. They are in Nigeria fighting to just tool out for the big one. It is not about you playing on your home soil. It's about the caliber of players involved in the competition. And we can't just say Nigerian players have not done well. They've really tried their possible best. Looking at the experience and exposure of players, we've seen a quarter finalist in the World Championship in South Africa bowed out of this particular championship. That has shown how significance and how the importance and caliber of players that are participating in the tournaments. No doubt, Nigerian players have really shown what they have to the world. All they just need is just to get involved in more competition and see how things pause at the end of the day for them.
Okay. Let me get your thoughts concerning other Africans now, because it's not just Nigerian players that participate in right here. I mentioned earlier Cecilia Fragram of Ghana was also knocked out. The Indians seem to have a number on African players. For the African, stars, what's really going on? Because this isn't, the tournament we all expected, considering the highs we had from the World Championships in Durban, South Africa.
And looking at the atmosphere at the World Championship in Durban, the likes of Omar Asa, Aruna Kodi, who made sure that the continent are being placed on top priorities, are not here to motivate these young players. And we all remembered when Aruna Kodi said the championship will be used to motivate younger players coming into the game. And we saw that. And looking at this particular one, it's the motivation from these top guns are not there. When we look at the top ranked players in Africa, there is no Kodi, there is no Asa. And when we look at the women, it is just Dina Meshref and Anagoda leading the women. So
Yes.
it is not something surprise to see how things are falling out for the African players. But nevertheless, they should put more effort and see how far they can go in the championship.
Okay, let's talk about grassroots tennis now, because this is one of the reasons we have the tournament, the WTT Contender in Nigeria. And we know quite well that the WTT LOC event director, Dr. Kweku Tando, did talk about this as well. But before we get to him, let me hear your thoughts. How do you think table tennis can be developed further in Nigeria and Africa as a whole?
Nigeria Table Tennis Federation have started their all possible best to develop the game, and recently we saw Musa Mohammed and his brother Mohammed Mohammed, who were ranked world number one at the under 10 and under 13, and Boboye Samuel Boboye, who won world championship at under 15. This particular player started from the grassroots, and from there they are developing, and hopefully how you will see them grow to be top guns. And then when we look at Matitaiwo, it started at the grassroots as well. But today we know what Matitaiwo is doing on the continent and the world at large. And then when we talk about competitions, events, exposure, Nigerian Table Tennis Federation has been doing that. And kudos to former president of the Nigerian Table Tennis Federation, who is the current vice president of ITTF now,
Yes.
Barrister Wahid Eniton Shodi. He has given the players leverage opportunities to experience what is happening across the globe when it comes to table tennis. No doubt, we've seen different leagues, we've seen different competitions, we've seen grassroots competitions that keep these players equipped and engaged for them to know how things are being done. And another one is what we are seeing currently,
Okay.
which is the World Table Tennis Championship. The players coming down to Nigeria alone is motivation for Nigerian young players. When they see top stars across the globe playing on their own soil, this alone gives them motivation. This alone gives them the courage that they can do more than this. And we shouldn't be surprised when we see another Anagoda coming from Africa. Shukrat Ayelebagun, she is the current champion of Lagos State Table Tennis League, and she was knocked out earlier today. It is very, very painful for her, but she has learned a lot of lessons, learned another experience from that one, and those are the things that will count for these young players going forward. Kudos to the Table Tennis Federation for giving Nigerian youngsters opportunity to learn and expose to the world of table tennis.
Okay, thank you very much, Hassan Abdulsalam, for your time on the show this evening.
Yeah, thank you very much. It is a pleasure.
Thank you so much.